Hey, what's up YouTube? I thought it was a decent Raw. I'm going to talk about a few of the matches that were really exciting in my opinion. Well, one of the first matches of the night, which was pretty exciting, a Battle Royale. Dean Ambrose has his U.S. title on the line. Triple H made that match. And obviously, it was obvious that Ambrose was going to lose it. It was about time. I mean, he's had it for a long time, and he hasn't really defended it that much. And so, I mean, 1 verse 19, of course, he's going to lose. I mean, he hung in there. He was in the final three between him, Swagger, and Sheamus. And of course, Sheamus wins it. Now, I'm happy that I like Ambrose, but I'm happy that he lost a belt and he finally put the title on the line, even though it was beyond his control, obviously. But I'm not too happy that because, I mean, I don't know, he's just won a lot recently. I mean, well, maybe not so recently, but in the past few years, he's had different types of titles. I mean, in my opinion, I think it would have been cool if they gave the title to someone else. But they had Sheamus win it to make him more relevant again. Um, but yeah, that was a pretty good match aside from Sheamus winning. I'm happy that Ambrose lost it. That was expected too. But I'm not happy that Sheamus won. I mean, I don't dislike the guy, but I'm not a big fan of him either. I don't get a chance. Alright, I'm not going to go over every match, just the interesting parts of the night. Uh, Daniel Bryan versus Del Rio. Now, that was a pretty good match, I thought, and leading up to it was pretty good as well, with him and his wife Bree being all freaked out of, like, wondering where Kane was and seeing his mask around and turning out the lights and stuff. Maybe it was a little corny, but oh well, whatever. I thought it was interesting leading up to the match how he wanted to leave the arena. But that's one thing about Daniel Bryan is that's one thing actually I didn't like. Even though it was interesting, I didn't like the fact that they made Daniel Bryan look like all scared and everything, and that's normally out of his character. But at the same time, now that he has a wife, he's going to do everything within his power to protect his wife. So I can kind of understand that, but they, in my opinion, overall, they shouldn't make him look like he's scared either. I mean, but then again, at the same time, most wrestlers are scared of Kane anyways. So I don't know, whatever. It's not like a huge deal. But so he went on to have his match against Del Rio, and Daniel Bryan put on a good match. Del Rio did pretty well as well. And the thing is that Daniel Bryan must be exhausted. He looked exhausted during that match, but he mustered whatever energy he had left to beat Del Rio. And then, of course, you hear the dun, 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 dun. I can't hum it, but it was Kane's music, and everyone's wondering where he's going to pop out from. And he was backstage, and um, as Daniel Bryan and Bree were trying to make the escape, of course, the car wouldn't start right away. That is kind of predictable, but whatever. So they finally get the car to start. Then a couple seconds later, Kane's in the back seat. That was predictable as well. I knew Kane was going to be in the car. I think everyone expected that. And so, yeah, a little fight develops, much less maybe a couple minutes for not really a fight, but Daniel Bryan got Kane out of that car and took him down just enough time to get out of there. And actually, I thought that was kind of interesting how Kane was on the car and Daniel Bryan just sped away. But then Daniel Bryan stopped and looked behind him to make sure that Kane was okay, even though Kane is trying to kick his ass. And Daniel Bryan was concerned for a minute or two, and then Kane starts moving, and then Daniel Bryan gets his butt in the car and drives off as fast as they can. So I thought that was a pretty good segment. It was interesting and exciting. The main match, the Wyatts versus the Shield, I thought that was a very good match, and it was expected that Evolution was going to come out at the end and just beat up the Shield yet again, and the Shield certainly took a beating. Evolution certainly pissed from Extreme Rules, from the Shield just kicking their butts the night before. And so Triple H is going to do everything within his power to make sure the Shield just takes an absolute beating. And yeah, it was a good match. And at the end, Roman Reigns got really bloody. I don't know if it was real or fake blood. Probably real, though. It looked like he was really bleeding badly from his mouth. He took a couple pedigrees from Triple H, and then Triple H, Batista, and Orton powerbombed Reigns. They took a move out of the Shield's book and pretty much just mocking the Shield, and then at the end they do the fist bump, putting their fists in, and so just mocking them. Overall, the Raw I thought it was pretty good. Again, I didn't go over some of the matches. I just wanted to go over some of the highlights, and yeah. Um, Again, Rusev was dominant, which was predictable. He won the match in what, like 5 minutes against Kingston. Um, that match didn't really do anything for me. I mean, Lana's the most exciting aspect to that whole gimmick. She's pretty good on the mic, even though she doesn't talk on the mic that much, and for some of it is in Russian. She really gets the crowd going, but aside from that, I don't really care much for that. What other matches? Well, this wasn't a match, but 3MB apologized, not really, to El Torito and uh, the other guys. I forgot their names, but yeah, I guess it was kind of funny, but whatever. That segment was whatever. Oh, and another big thing, Adam Rose made his debut. The crowd was so on it. I mean, the crowd got into it a little bit when they were saying, oh, 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 for a little while. But aside from that, for the most part, the crowd didn't really have too much of a reaction. But we'll see what happens. We'll see where he fits in. He kind of reminds me of Russell Brand, especially Russell Brand in the movie Get Him to the Greek. Like, it's a similar character, the way he talks, walks, his mannerisms, stuff like that. It just reminds me of him, pretty much, his persona. So let me know what you guys think. If you agree with me, disagree with me, let me know in the comment section below. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, AlexCode14. Feel free to subscribe to me. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.